Hello everybody, it's Acacia. I just wanted to make an update video, kind of let you know where I'm at and how things have been going. I guess I'll start off with my stats. I am 22, I am 5 feet 2 inches tall, my height weight was 301. My last video, I believe I was weighing in about 284, and then I weighed in today at 277. So I've lost about 24 pounds since February 15th. Super excited. I've been working really hard, so I'm glad to be seeing the results. I did get a question about what kind of diet I've been doing, and a lot of people have been asking me this in my personal life and kind of on messages on Instagram and stuff. So my dietitian asked me to do a high protein, low carb diet because that post-op, that's gonna be what you're doing. You really need to get your protein first, which is key, your protein and your water, and then your vegetables, and then your fruits, and then your starches. So if I sound sick, that's why, or if I sound weird, I'm sick. So so it hasn't been too bad. I mean, for breakfast, I'll usually have eggs and turkey bacon, and then I am kind of a finicky eater, so vegetables and stuff. I do green beans, I do broccoli, I do carrots, and I usually eat my vegetables raw. I have been trying to eat them cooked, which is really hard for me, but we're, small changes. And I do get most of my carbs from fruits and vegetables. I'm not perfect. There are some days that I just have Ritz crackers and cheese and I get carbs from that, but I am trying to wean myself off of that. I don't have soda or bread or anything like that. I will give myself Crystal Light every once in a while, and then I also mix my Nectar protein. If you don't really like milky flavored proteins, look up Nectar. They have a ton of different flavors. I do the lemonade with the raspberry lemonade Crystal Light, which is amazing, and it's super high in protein and super low in calories, so it's great. And I do give myself a cheat day once every about 2 weeks. And it's really not even a cheat day, I don't want to say. It's more like a cheat meal that I have. So if I'm really craving like Thai or something, then I'll kind of plan ahead and let me have something to look forward to, which is, I didn't hear a lot of people talk about how often they have cheat meals, or what their cheat meals kind of looked like and stuff. I still do track those days on MyFitnessPal. If you don't have MyFitnessPal, I suggest downloading it right now, and even when you do splurge, track it. It's kind of motivation after you eat it to be like, okay, not gonna have that again. And then I wanted to dabble into my psychology evaluation. So they asked me about my support system, who's going to take care of me after the surgery, and my mom is going to take care of me after the surgery. She's an ER nurse. I'm going to go stay out at her house, and then, my boyfriend will come out and see me and stuff. And so I have a lot of support from family and friends. She asked me if I have any mental health history, which I do have situational anxiety, which wasn't a really big deal with her. She just wanted to make sure that it was under control and that it wasn't going to affect me in the long term with my surgery. And my anxiety does cause IBS issues. So when she asked me what my fears were post-op, I instantly kind of went to, I'm really afraid of dumping syndrome. I know that certain foods trigger it and certain things do trigger it. And she was like, well, it's understandable since your situational anxiety does cause IBS issues. It's totally understandable that you would have that fear for post-op. She did ask me about my finances, which I really wasn't expecting to be asked about because I had never heard anyone else be asked about it. And I just kind of told her if I was really that worried about not being able to afford certain things, I probably wouldn't be looking into this surgery, because my insurance will cover it if I meet all the requirements. However, I know that I'm still going to have to pay a small portion, small compared to $45,000, but if it was such a detrimental thing, you know, I wouldn't be looking into the surgery. And she also asked about my childhood. I did tell her that my parents split up when I was younger, and she had just asked if I was able to go see my dad after he moved, and after we moved away to California and he stayed in Washington. And I told her, of course, I was able to see my dad. I mean, every holiday we had off from school, we would either take a plane or we would take a Greyhound, me and my siblings, and we'd go see my dad. So he's always been a large part in our life. So she was okay with that. She asked about family's mental health history and addiction history. And so I kind of talked to her a little bit about my grandma, who was an alcoholic and stuff, and she asked if she sought out help for it, and she did. So, you know, it really, I kind of psyched myself up for nothing. It really wasn't a big issue. If you have your psych evaluation coming up and you're really worried about it because you have depression or anxiety or anything like that, as long as you're getting the help you need for it. I never even saw a therapist for mine. Because mine's not generalized, I don't always feel anxious. It's just certain things like changing my schedule or public transportation or long trips. You know, it's really not something to worry about as long as you're taking care of it and you're doing things. The only advice that my psychologist gave me was to have more coping mechanisms. So she did ask me, like, how do you cope with stuff? And I said, well, you know, I vent. I vent to my boyfriend, I vent to my mom, and I vent to my roommates. And she asked me, she kind of prompted me, like, do you think exercising is a way to cope? And I was like, yeah, I mean, absolutely, now that I am exercising, which goes along with my diet also. I try very hard to do 2 days on at the gym, 1 day off. So if I don't go for whatever reason, then I'll try to do 3 days and then 1 day off to make up for it. And I usually just do 30 to an hour of cardio, and I'll do arm weights. I'm not doing a whole lot of toning right now, especially in my abdominal region, just because laying on the ground and stuff really hurts my back, and I just don't want to push myself to where I can't go to the gym, you know, for a few days. So I stick to cardio. Anyways, if you have any other questions for me, I'll be happy to answer them from my experience. Basically, so now all I have to do is I get an endoscopy, and I have a 3-month scheduled weight loss for my insurance to approve me. So I am done with month 1. That month 1 ended on March 15th. So my month 2 will be on April 15th, and then month 3 will be May 15th. So in between that time somewhere I do have to get an endoscopy, which I'm not really worried about, just because I do have acid reflux. So they wanted to make sure that everything was okay in that region before they go in for surgery. And then I did get another question about why I chose gastric bypass over the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. And I told I also got asked this question by my psychologist. And I just told her I do have bad acid reflux, even for my age, and mostly at night I get it, and I know that having BSG can make that worse sometimes. And my mom has Barrett's disease, and I really don't want to have the risk of it progressing into that, which can cause esophagus cancer and everything. And every 2 years, every year that you have Barrett's disease basically induces your chances of getting esophagus cancer at like by 2 years. So if you've had it for a year, it's really almost like 2 years, you know, closer to getting cancer, and that's what my surgeon told me too. So I just didn't want to deal with those issues, and I didn't choose lap band just because I think I talked about it in my last video. It's just too far to drive to Seattle to get fills and stuff like that. So, and I had all like when I was back looking at this, I had already just kind of checked into the full gastric bypass. It just looked like a better option for me. So I hope that is helpful, and if anyone has any more questions, feel free to message me. My Instagram account is shrinkinginseattle. Go ahead and follow me, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.